Hi Nana. See, we were learning the classification of elements based on the electronic configuration. So, based on the electronic configuration, there are two types of classification. One is Bohr's classification, and another one is differentiating electron classification. Bohr's classification, it is based on the chemical properties. So, based on the chemical properties, Bohr's classification contains four groups of elements, or else four different groups. One group is inert gases, one group of elements inert gases, another group of elements representative elements, the third group of elements are known as transitional elements, and the fourth group of elements are known as inner transitional elements. Now we are learning about the classification of elements based on differentiating electron. So here this classification, it is based on the type of atomic orbital into which the last entered electron goes. For example, take lithium. So in lithium, its electronic configuration is 1s2, 2s1. So this is the last electron. So this last electron is entering into which suborbit? Okay, which orbital? It belongs to s orbital. Okay, for example, take nitrogen. Its configuration is 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. 1s2, 2s2, 2p3. So 2p3 means here 2p contains 3 electrons. 1, 2, 3. So this is the last electron, last entered electron. So in nitrogen atom, the last entered electron, it is into which subshell? P subshell, or else p orbital. Okay, suppose if you take scandium, its configuration is argon 4s2 3d1, 4s2 3d1. Here the last electron. So this is the last entered electron into this atom. So the last entered electron, it is into d suborbit. Okay. So based on the last entered electron, into which suborbit? So here the last entered electron is entering into s orbital. Here in nitrogen, last entered electron is entering into p orbital. So this is p orbital. Okay, and in scandium, d orbitals 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the last entered electron will enter into d orbital. So depending upon, based on the type of atomic orbital into which the last entered electron goes, okay, so elements are classified or grouped. Elements are grouped into 4 blocks. One group of elements are known as S block element. So here lithium is an example for S block element, because in lithium the last entered electron is entering into s orbital. Okay, hence lithium is an example for s block element. There are so many s block elements. Okay, right. Nitrogen. So nitrogen, the last entered electron is into p orbital. Hence nitrogen is said to be p block element. So like this. So s block elements, p block elements, d block elements, and f block elements. So based on the last entered electron into which orbital the last entered electron goes, so based on that electron and that orbital, all the elements are classified into 4 blocks: s block element, p block elements, d block elements, f block elements. Then what is the definition of s block elements? S block elements means if the differentiating electron, what is the meaning of differentiating electron? Last entered electron is called as differentiating electron. See here, in lithium this is the differentiating electron. In nitrogen this is the differentiating electron. That means differentiating electron is present in p orbital. Okay, this is p orbital. In scandium this is the differentiating electron. Differentiating electron means last entered electron. So out of so many electrons, So after so many electrons, so this is the last entered electron in nitrogen atom. Out of so many electrons, so this is the last entered electron in lithium atom. And out of so many electrons, this is the last entered electron, 3d1. Okay, this is the last entered electron in scandium atom. So like this. So based on the last entered electron, it is also called as a differentiating electron. So based on the differentiating electron, so all the elements are classified into 4 blocks. So S block element definition goes like this: if the differentiating electron, that means last entered electron, enters into s orbital of ultimate shell. What is the meaning of ultimate shell? Valency shell. See, lithium, its ultimate shell is second orbit, second shell. So here the last entered electron is entering into second shell. Is it entering into last shell or not in lithium? So lithium second orbit is the last orbit, and the last entered electron is also entering into the last orbit, or else ultimate shell, or else valency shell. So that like this. So if the differentiating electron enters into s orbital of last shell, s orbital of valency shell, or s orbital of ultimate shell, then those elements are called s block elements. Hence lithium is an s block element. Okay, right. Then what are p block elements? What are p block elements? So look here, the definition will go like this, but small change. See, the differentiating electron enters into p orbitals, of ultimate shell or valency shell. The elements are called, okay, the elements are called p block elements. For example, take nitrogen only. So here in nitrogen, so this is the last orbit, second orbit is the last orbit, and the last electron, it has entered into the p orbital of the last orbit. Okay, p orbital of the last orbit. So if the differentiating electron enter into p orbital of the last orbit, or else valency shell or ultimate shell, the elements are called as p block element. So nitrogen is a p block element. Nitrogen is a p block element. Right. Now d block elements. What are d block elements? If the differentiating electron enters into d orbital, d orbitals of penultimate shell, penultimate shell. What is the meaning of penultimate shell? The shell last but one. For example, this is a first shell, second shell, third shell, fourth shell. For in scandium, there are four shells. So in first shell, S contains 2 electrons. Okay, let it be. So here in third shell, 3d is present. In first shell, 1s is present. In second shell, 2s and 2p are present. In third shell, 3s, 3p and 3d are present. In fourth shell, 4s is present. So in scandium, after 4s, the last entered electron is into 3d. After 4s. So look here, this is the last orbit, but this is the last but one orbit. Suppose if it is nth orbit, if this is nth orbit, then this one will be n-1 orbit. So this orbit is n-1 orbit. Okay, so in n-1 orbit is also called as penultimate orbit or else penultimate shell. So now, the last electron is present in 3d. That means where the 3d is present, in n-1 shell or else penultimate shell. Okay, so that is why d orbital, 3d means d orbital only. 3d means d orbitals only. All these are d orbitals. So here the last entered electron is entered into d orbital. D orbital of where? D orbital of n-1. So if it is n, it is n-1. Because here there are 4 orbits only in scandium. There are 4 orbits only in scandium. So fourth orbit is the last orbit, but the electron is entering into third orbit, d orbital of third orbit. Okay, so the last entered electron is entered into d orbital of third orbit. But altogether there are 4 orbits in the scandium atom. So that means third orbit into third orbit, that means into penultimate shell. Third orbit is penultimate shell and fourth orbit is ultimate shell. So here the electron, the last enter electron or else the differentiating electron is entering into third orbit. That means penultimate shell, not into fourth orbit. In fourth orbit also there are electrons, but these electrons are not last entered electrons. See, before entering of electrons into 3D only, electrons have entered into 4s. After filling of 4s only, new electron is entered into 3D. That means this is the last entered electron in scandium. The last entered electron in scandium is into 3D orbital. Okay, so that means the last entered electron into d orbital of penultimate shell. So third orbit is penultimate shell, or third shell is the penultimate shell. So in d block elements, always remember that the last entered electron will always enter into the last but one shell, or else penultimate shell or n-1 shell. Okay, so and into n-1 shell, into which orbital the last entered electron will go? Into d orbital the last entered electrons will go. Okay, so if the differentiating electron enters into d orbitals of last but one shell or else penultimate shell, okay, then those elements are called d block elements. Those elements are called as d block elements. So the definition will go like this. Okay, so these two, for these two, the last entered electron will be into last orbit only. But here for d block elements, the last entered electron will enter into last but one orbit. Okay, for these elements, the last entered electron will enter into last orbit. But for d block elements, the last entered electron will enter into last but one orbit. That means penultimate orbit or else penultimate shell. Right. F block elements. What are F block elements? Again the same type of definition. So here, if the last entered electron or else if the differentiating electron enters into f orbital of anti-penultimate shell, f orbital of anti-penultimate shell. I am writing anti here. F orbital of anti-penultimate shell, then those elements are called as F block elements. Those elements are called as F block elements. Okay, if you take example cerium or else any other example, so let us take example of praseodymium. Okay, whose atomic number is 59. So right, so now let us fill the electrons into this one. So proceed 59. So 1s2, 2s2, 2p6, 3s2, 3p6, 3p6, next 4s2, 3d10, next 4p6, 5s2, 4d10, 4d10, 5p6, okay, after 5p6, next it is 5, after 5p6 it is 6s2, after 6s2 it is it is 5d 6s2 plus 6s2 here it is here it is 5d before 5d only is it should be 4f, but here one thing, in this case there is an exception. So 5d, in 5d one electron will be there and after 5d it will be 4f. After 5d it will be 4f. So now here how many electrons count? So here up to here 10 electrons, 10 more electrons, 20, 30, okay, 38, 48, 48, 50, 54, 54, next 56, 57. So here 2 electrons, 59, 59. So here the last entered electron is into 4f, f orbital. So that means fourth orbit, f orbital of fourth orbit. But altogether how many orbits are there? So this is the last orbit, six orbits are there. But the last entered electron is into fourth orbit only. That means not into sixth orbit. So in praseodymium, how many orbits are there altogether? 6 orbits are there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. In sixth orbit, S orbit, 6s2. So 5d1, okay. But 4f2. So this is the last entered electron. See, according to electronic configuration, 4f2. So this is this is arrangement of electrons. Electronic configuration means systematic arrangement of electrons. So after 5d, getting one electron, the next electrons will enter into 4f. Okay. So like this. So the last entered electron into this atom is present here only in 4f. So that means the last entered electron is present in 4f. So where 4f is present in in anti-penultimate shell. This is ultimate shell, this is penultimate shell, and this is anti-penultimate shell. Okay, that means last but 1, last but 2. It is n minus 1. Okay, it is n minus 2. So that means anti-penultimate shell means n minus 2 shell. N minus 2 shell is called as anti-penultimate shell. So remember that in F block elements, the last entered electron will always enter into f orbitals of last but 2 shell. That means n minus 2 shell or else anti-penultimate shell. Okay, such elements into which last electron enters into f orbitals of anti-penultimate shell, such elements are said to be F block elements. Okay, so like this the definition of these elements will go. So S block elements, P block elements. S block elements mean the differentiating electron enters into S orbital, the differentiating electron enters into P orbital of last orbit, the differentiating electron enter into D orbitals of last but 1 orbit, that means penultimate shell. In F block elements, the differentiating electron will enter into last but 2 orbit, that means n minus 2 orbit, or it is also called as anti-penultimate shell. So like this. Now we will learn the properties of these elements. We will learn the properties of these elements. D block, here it is E block, here it is P block. First of all, we will learn the properties of S block elements. See, where the S block elements are present, S block elements are present. This is the periodic table. Okay, this is the periodic table. So S block elements are present towards the extreme left side, P block elements are present towards the extreme right side, and D block elements are present between the S and P block, and F block elements are present below the periodic table, below the main block of the periodic table. So the main body of the periodic table. Okay, S block elements are present towards the extreme left side, and P block towards the extreme right side. D block are present between the S and P block. So actually S block elements contains two groups, 1A group and 2A group. That means first A group and second A group elements. So we will learn about S block elements. Okay, so this block is situated towards the extreme left. It is present towards the extreme left. Okay, extreme left of periodic table. So it contains what? It contains first A and second A group elements. Okay, so first A group elements and second A group elements together. First A group and all first A group elements and second A group elements together, we call them as S block elements. What are first A group elements? Hydrogen, lithium, sodium, potassium, rubidium, cesium, francium. What are second A group elements? Beryllium, magnesium, calcium, strontium, barium, radium. These are second A group elements. See, the first A group elements, they are also called as important. They are also called as alkali metals. The other name for first A group elements are called as alkali metals. Alkali metals. And for the second A group elements, there is other name known as alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. Alkaline earth metals. See, next third point. So these S block elements are strongest metals. Strongest metals. So out of different elements, so these elements are the strongest metals. So where does the strongest metals are located in, are placed in the periodic table means? So we have to say S block element. In S block the strongest elements are placed. Strongest metals are placed. Okay. These are the strongest metals. Their general electronic configuration. So I am writing general electronic configuration will be NS1 to 2. So here first A group, in first A group their configuration, outermost shell configuration will be NS1, and in second A group the outermost shell electronic configuration will be NS2. So that is why, so together we call it as S block elements, hence we will call it, together we may write like this, NS1 to 2, that means 1 to 2. Okay, so general electronic configuration of these elements will be NS1 to 2, where what is this N? N indicates outermost orbit, outermost orbit, or else valence shell, or else ultimate shell, or else nth shell also. Okay, see here in alkali metals configuration is NS1, already I have written there. Okay, see, look here, these are highly reactive elements. These are highly reactive elements. Okay, so out of all metals, which metals are highly reactive? So the first A, particularly the first A group elements are very highly reactive. First A group elements are very highly reactive than second A group. Okay, even second A group elements are also highly reactive, but first A group elements are more, they are still more reactive than second A group elements. Okay, so like this, the properties can be defined. So the general characteristics, if you say about S block elements, general characteristics of S block elements, if you say, so these are soft metals. They are soft metals. Okay, and possess low melting point. Okay, so they are soft metals and possess low melting points. Okay, next, melting point means they can easily melt. I mean, at lower temperature also they can melt. Okay, for example, if you take sodium around 400 to 500, or else between 500 to 600, so like that. So that range the sodium metal will melt. Okay, that means low temperatures only. They are highly electropositive and low ionization energies. They possess they are highly electropositive in nature. They are highly electropositive in nature. So we will learn all these things, electropositive and ionization energy. All these things we will learn in our subsequent classes, in our future classes. So they are highly electropositive elements. They are highly electropositive, and all the elements of S block elements are highly electropositive. Okay, and they possess low ionization energy. They possess low ionization energy. Low ionization energy. So I will explain you about ionization energy in the future classes, in the coming classes. Okay, low ionization energies. They possess low ionization energy. Okay, right. Next, third point. They are highly reactive. All S block elements are. They are highly reactive. All the S block elements are highly reactive, and they form. And all S block elements form ionic compounds. They form ionic compounds. Okay, see, compounds, generally all the compounds are mainly classified into two types: ionic compounds and covalent compounds. So here the S block elements, they form ionic compounds. They do not form covalent compounds. So S block elements form ionic compounds. Okay, what type of compounds they form? They form as ionic compounds. Okay, they are good reducing agents. They are good reducing agents because they can lose electrons. They are good reducing agents. Okay, see, as these elements, as first year group elements and second year group elements, they can lose electrons easily. These atoms of elements of first year group elements and second year group, they can lose electrons easily. The elements which can lose electrons easily are said to be good reducing agents. Okay, hence S block elements are good reducing agent. So like this, the properties of S block elements and the general characteristics of S block elements can be discussed. Now we will learn about the P block elements. P block elements. So where the P block elements are located? See, these are the P block elements. They are located towards the extreme right side of the periodic table. So these P block elements, they are divided into 6 groups. P block element, they are divided into 6 groups. 6 groups of elements. What are they? From third year group. Okay, third year group, fourth year, fifth year, sixth year, seventh year, and eighth year group. Eighth year group are said to be inert gases. They are called as inert gases. Seventh year group elements, they are called as halogens. Halogens. Sixth year group elements, all the sixth year group elements, they are called as chalcogens. Chalcogens. They are called as chalcogens. Okay. Fifth year group elements are called as nicogens. They are called as nicogens. So fourth year group elements, they are called as carbon family elements. They are called as carbon family elements. And third year group elements, those elements are called as boron family elements. Boron. So this is carbon family. Carbon family, boron family elements. So like this. Okay. Right. Okay, right. Now see here in P block, so helium is present. Helium is present in P block, but actually helium is a S block element. So that is important thing. Okay. So here helium, except helium, though it is present, though it is kept in P block, helium is S block element. It is S block element. Why it is called as S block element? Because if you see the electronic configuration of helium, it is 1s2. So the last entered electron, it is into s orbital. Hence helium is a S block element. It is also called as helium. It is also called as a P block element without P electron. It is also called as It is also called as p block element. It is also called p block element without p electron. Without p electron. That means here in helium s electron, last electron is s electron. So helium there is no p electron at all. There is no p electron at all. So the only p block element without p electron is helium. But position wise, helium is said to be p block element without electron. But actually, if the definition wise, helium belongs to s block element, because the last entered electron, it is entered into s orbital. Okay, so like this. See, why helium is kept in p block? Because it is chemically inert. It is chemically non-reactive. Helium is chemically non-reactive. As it is chemically non-reactive, so non-reactive means inert. So as it is chemically non-reactive or else chemically inert, hence it is kept under inert gases. Inert gases are present in extreme right side of the periodic table: helium, neon, argon, krypton, xenon, radon and oganesson. See, already we have seen about these inert gases. Okay. So I mean, these are some of the points about p block elements. So particularly remember that helium, it is a s block element. Okay, though it is placed in p block, still it is treated as s block element. Why it is placed in p block? Because as it is showing inertness, that means it is chemically non-reactive, hence it is placed along with the other inert gas elements. So that is why helium is it is placed in p block. Right. See, in p block the first starting element is boron. In p block the first element, what is the first element in p block? Boron. It is, the starting element is boron. Here in a zero group in p block, there is a specialty in p block. So all the group which contain all which contain all the gaseous element, which contain all the elements as gaseous elements. Okay, so the group which contain all the elements as a gaseous elements is zero group. Zero group means eighth A group. That means the last placed group. Here this is the last group, eighth A group. They are also called as inert gases, or they are also called as aerogens. They are also called as noble gases. So there are different names. So these elements are the gaseous elements. One more thing. So which S block elements? Generally S block elements are metals. Generally S block elements are strong metals. But there are two elements which are gaseous elements. Okay, what are they? Hydrogen and helium are the gaseous elements which are present in the S block. Okay, next one. In P block, all the elements, they are different. All the types of elements are present. What are they? What type of elements are present? In P block, you will find metals, weak metals. You will find metals, metalloids, non-metals. All non-metals are present. All metalloids and all non-metals are present in P block elements, and weak metals are also present in P block elements, and even inert gases. That means in the periodic table there are 4 types of elements. In the entire periodic table there are 4 types of elements. All the 4 types of elements are present in P block itself. Okay, S block contains only metals. D D block contains only metals, and even F block contains only metals. But here P block contains, here in P block, all types of metal, all types of elements are present. Metals, metalloids, non-metals, and inert gases. All types of elements are present in P block. Okay. Now, if you see the general properties of P block elements, they form ionic as well as covalent compounds. They form ionic compounds. They form ionic compounds, and even they form covalent compounds also. Whereas S block elements, they form only ionic compounds. P block elements, they form ionic and covalent compounds also. Next, they have high values of ionization energy. High values of ionization energy. They have high values of ionization energy. But here, S block elements, they have low ionization energy values. See, here most of them, in P block elements, most of the P block elements are non-metals. Most of the P block elements are non-metals. Hence non-metals means electronegative. Hence highly electronegative. But S block elements are highly electropositive. In P block elements, non-metals are highly electronegative. See, they have variable oxidation states. They show variable oxidation states. Okay, next, they form acidic oxides. But S block elements, they form basic oxides. Their oxides are basic in nature. For example, sodium oxide, it is basic in nature. Potassium oxide, it is basic in nature. Calcium oxide, it is basic in nature. P block elements, for example, SO2, it is acidic in nature. CO2, it is acidic in nature. H2S, oxides only we are speaking. So NO2 or else N2O5, it is acidic in nature. So these are what? Oxides of P block elements. These are oxides of S block elements. So these are basic in nature. These are acidic in nature. So like this. And some more, and the general. These are some of the properties of P block elements. Now D block elements we will see. See, P block elements, their general electronic configuration will be NS2 NP1 2 6. Okay, for P block elements, general electronic configuration will be NS2 NP1 to 6. Okay, right. Now let us learn about D block elements. Where the D block elements are located? D block elements are located in the center of the periodic table, in the middle portion of the periodic table, between S block elements and P block elements. Okay, where they are located? They are situated between, or else they are located between S block, okay, and P block elements. Okay, they contain. So here D block, I am drawing the D block here. D block elements. See here, there are 10 vertical columns, or else 10 groups, 1 2 3 4 5 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So here, so all the D block elements, they are divided into 10 groups. So here this is called as the third B group. So here first B, second B, and third B here. So these are fourth B. So now this is fifth B. This is sixth B, and this is seventh B, and these three groups together, it is called as eighth group. It is not eighth B or eighth A, it is simply eighth group. Okay, so altogether there are 8 groups. Simply we can say, see, it starts from third B and ends with second B, D block elements. Okay, so altogether, so all the D block elements, they are classified into 4 series of elements. So this series of elements, these elements, there are 10 elements. So these series of elements are called as 3D series. 3D series of elements. How many elements are? 10 elements are there. So now these elements, okay, these elements are called as 4D series elements. They are called as 4D series elements. Now these are 5D series elements. These are 10 elements. Again, these are also 10 elements. So 5D series elements, and again here 6D series elements. Okay, how many series are present in D block? There are 4 series. In D block there are 4 series. What are they? 3D series, 4D series, 5D series, and 6D series. Okay, right. Next, general electronic configuration of these elements. So D block elements, general electronic configuration of D block elements, it will be like this. Okay, n-1, D 1 to 10, n-1 D 1 to 10, and ns 1 to 2. So general electronic configuration is most important. So please practice. So what is n? N means outermost orbit. n-1 means last but one orbit, or else penultimate shell. Okay. See, look here. The important thing is all the D block elements are weak metals only. S block elements are strong metals. D block elements are weak metals. Remember. Okay. And P block elements here these are in this portion weak metals are present, and in the middle. So here in the P block, so these are metalloids, and here you will find non-metals. Non-metals are located. So altogether in P block there are 4 types. So at the extreme end, inert gases. These are the inert gases. Non-metals, inert gases. This portion is non-metal portion. This portion is metalloid, and this portion is weak metals. And even D block elements, in all the D block elements are weak metals. All the D block elements are weak metals. Right. Now if you see the general characteristics of D block elements, so I'm rubbing it off. So all the D block elements are classified into 4 series: 3D series, 4D series, 5D series, and 6D series. Altogether, how many elements are there? Each series contains 10 elements. So there are 4 series. So altogether 40 elements, 40 D block elements are present in the periodic table. Okay. So if you see the general properties of D block elements, they are hard. D block elements are hard metals. Hard metals. See, S block elements are soft metals, whereas D block elements are hard metals. Okay. They have high melting points. Okay. And they possess variable oxidation states. They possess variable oxidation numbers. they possess variable oxidation numbers, or else they possess variable oxidation states. Okay, they form colored complexes. They form colored complexes. They form colored complexes. Okay, and they are and also they form ionic as well as covalent compounds. Okay, they form ionic as well as covalent compounds, they form ionic as well as covalent compounds. Okay, most of these elements are paramagnetic. Already I've discussed about paramagnetic nature. Okay, and they possess catalytic properties. So even the catalytic properties also we have seen. Okay, they form alloys. Already alloys, we discussed about alloys. They form alloys. Okay, and good conductors of heat and electricity. Okay, they are also good conductors of heat and electricity. So like this, the general characteristics of D block elements can be discussed. So D block element, they are hard metals. They possess high melting point. They show variable oxidation numbers. Okay, they form colored complexes. Okay, they form ionic as well as covalent compounds. Okay, they are paramagnetic in nature. They show catalytic properties. Okay, they form alloys. They are good conductors of heat and electricity. So like this, the general characteristics of D block elements can be discussed. Now, the final thing is discussion about F block elements. What are F block elements? See, F block elements, where they are present. See, F block elements, they are present below the at the bottom portion of the periodic table, below the main body of the periodic table. F block elements are placed separately at the bottom of the main periodic table. Okay, next. So it consists of two series of elements. See, F block elements, it contains two series of elements. Okay, two series of elements. What are they? So here, every series, it contains 14 elements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14. 1, 2. So like this. So altogether there are two series, and in each series 14 elements are present. So the first series of 14 elements, they are called as lanthanide series, or else simply lanthanides. What are lanthanides? All the 14 elements together, we call them as lanthanides. Okay, lanthanides. Here, the first element of lanthanide is cerium. The last element of lanthanide is lutetium, whose atomic number is 71, and the cerium atomic number is 58. Cerium, its atomic number is 58, whereas lutetium, its atomic number is 71. So all the 14 elements are called as lanthanides, and here these 14 elements are called as actinides. The first element in actinide series is called as thorium, whose atomic number is 90, and the last element here in the last element of actinide series, it is called as lawrencium, whose atomic number is 103. Okay, so here 90, 91, here it is uranium. U. So whose atomic number is 92, and after uranium, all these elements after uranium, they are called as a transuranic element. So after uranium, all the elements are transuranic elements. So these transuranic elements, they are prepared by man, artificially prepared. Okay, they do not occur in the nature. So they are prepared artificially by the man. Hence these elements are said to be synthetic elements. All the elements which come after uranium are said to be synthetic elements. Okay. See the lanthanide elements. Lanthanide elements, they are also called as rare earths. They are also called as rare earth elements. So which elements are called as rare earth elements? Lanthanide series of elements are called as rare earth elements. See the general electronic configuration of F block elements will be like this. General electronic configuration of F block elements can be written like this. N minus 2 F 1 to 14. Okay. N minus 1 D 0 or 1 or else 0 to 1 and NS2. So this is the general electronic configuration of F block elements. So what is N? N is outermost orbit. N minus 1 means last but one orbit. N minus 2 means last but two. Okay, last from the last. If you count from the last orbit, so this will be in the third position from the last orbit. So it is called as outermost orbit or valency shell or ultimate shell. This is called as N minus 1 shell or else penultimate shell, and this is called as anti-penultimate shell, N minus 2. So like this. So if you speak about the general characteristics of F block elements, how many F block elements are there altogether? So there are 28 F block elements, so which are present in two series, lanthanide series and actinide series. Each series contains 14 elements, right? See, F block elements, they are hard and have high melting points. So they are hard, high melting points, hard metals. F block elements are hard metals. They possess high melting points and show variable oxidation states. Variable oxidation states or else oxidation number. Variable oxidation states or oxidation numbers. Okay. Variable oxidation numbers. Okay. They form colored complexes. They form colored complexes. Okay. And have high densities. They have high densities. So like this, so we can discuss some points about the F block elements. Okay, so like this here, based on the differentiating electron or else last entered electron, all the elements of the periodic table, they are classified into 4 blocks: S block elements, P block elements, D block elements, and F block elements. So like this. So we will discuss about the other points in the next video. Right. This is the classification based on differentiating electron. Right.